Welcome back to the short recap. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Eaga, released in 2012. In the opening scene, we are introduced to a rich and powerful industrialist named Sudeep. He is practicing shooting a firearm at a training center. Sudeep doesn't miss a single shot, impressing everyone around him. Amidst the training session, his business partner and friend Aditya approaches him. They have an important business meeting in a few minutes, but Sudeep is entirely oblivious to it. Aditya asks him to be more responsible, considering their client is hard to please, but Sudeep ignores him. Instead, he approaches a young woman on the other side of the field and seductively teaches her to fire a shot elsewhere. A young miniature artist named Bindhu builds a tiny heart but is not satisfied with the work. When the power goes out, she moves her setup by the window and tries to use the moonlight to finish the mini sculpture. Nani, Bindhu's next-door neighbor who has had a crush on her for the past 2 years, sees her struggling to work because of the darkness. He builds a makeshift light bulb using a torchlight and aluminum foil, enabling her to happily complete the sculpture. However, after she's done, she simply closes her window and goes to sleep. Nani's friend calls her rude for not even thanking him, but smitten in love, Nani claims that she closed the window to help him because if she hadn't, he would have waited for her the entire night. Then, following day, Sudeep holds an exclusive party celebrating the 3rd anniversary of his company. One of his clients, who has been giving him a hard time recently, gives him a file as a gift. Aditya is surprised as to how the client agreed to sign the papers, but his doubts turn into surprise when he notices that the client's wife is the woman whom Sudeep had seduced back at the firearm training center. Sudeep has managed to close a deal with the client using his wife. Following that, the business partners go to the bar to get a drink and celebrate the success. As they talk, we find out that the source of Sudeep's wealth is his late wife, whom he killed a few years ago. Since then, he has taken over her company and has been running it as his own apart. From being a miniature artist, Bindhu also runs an NGO called Project 551, which promotes children's education. She is at the Project 551 office, preparing to buy books for underprivileged children, but the organization is low on funding. Someone suggests that Bindhu arrange a meeting with Sudeep because his company is looking to support a non-profit organization. When she is in his office, Sudeep gets a glimpse of her and is instantly attracted by her beauty. She explains to him about the charitable deeds of her organization, but he is too distracted, checking her out. At the end of the meeting, Sudeep hands her a check of 15 lakh rupees, which takes Bindhu by surprise. She thanks him in gratitude unknown to his true intentions. A few days later, they distribute books and stationery to the underprivileged students in their neighborhood. After the program, Sudeep asks Bindhu to join him for lunch in a fancy restaurant. When they are ready to order, Bindhu gets a text from Nani, who compliments her looks. She skims around and sees him watching her from the other side of the restaurant. Bindhu cannot get her eyes off him and ignores Sudeep entirely. The man notices her watching someone else, which hurts his ego. After the meal, Sudeep drives her home. Bindhu cuts Sudeep off, needing groceries. He follows her, fuming, only to see her with Nani. Jealous, he vows to break them up. Working late, Bindhu fears walking home alone. Sending Nani a blank text, she lures him out. They walk silently, tension thick. Reaching her door, Bindhu disappears as a white van snatches Nani. Sudeep's hired thugs kidnap Nani. Beaten and bloodied, Nani learns Sudeep's motive. Sudeep unleashes a final fatal blow. Just then, Bindhu calls, confessing her love. It's too late. Nani's body glows blue, transferring the light to a nearby fly egg. In the morning, police call it an accident. Bindhu mourns as Nani's body is taken away. 10 days later, the egg hatches. A tiny fly with clipped wings, struggling to fly. The fly, Nani Reborn, escapes near-death experiences with water, a cricket ball, and a predator bird. He finally lands inside a house where a human inadvertently drowns him in water. The fly recognizes Sudeep, the man holding the glass. Enraged, he attacks, but his tiny form offers little threat. Sudeep swatted aside. The fly remembers Bindhu and rushes to her. Bindhu mourns Nani, unaware of the fly around her. Sudeep offers condolences, hoping for a chance. The fly, desperate, tries to warn Bindhu, even entering Sudeep's ear to stop him from getting closer. Sudeep enters a steam bath. The fly, a constant irritant inside his ear. The trapped fly creates chaos, forcing Sudeep to scramble out naked, a spectacle for his business partners. Sudeep tries to lure Bindhu to Delhi for business. Fearing this will separate them, the fly torments Sudeep all night, preventing sleep. Bindhu calls with a flight in half an hour, forcing a rushed departure. The fly follows, causing mayhem. It disrupts the traffic cop, leading to an accident. Stuck in the wreckage, Sudeep sees the fly write, "I will kill you" on the window with dust. He becomes paranoid, clutching fly spray and appearing insane to others. Bindhu arrives. The fly attacks Sudeep, but she sprays it with repellent. The fly falls, seemingly dead, but a water sprinkler revives it. Desperate, Sudeep seeks an entomologist about vengeful flies. Dismissed as delusional, he goes to the junkyard where his car is held. A strange man warns of impending fire. Sudeep finds a message written by the fly, confirmation of his murderous intent. Back home, Bindhu mourns Nani. The fly, using her tears, writes a message. Bindhu, astonished, confirms it's Nani. He reveals Sudeep's betrayal, and their plan for revenge begins. Bindhu, a miniature artist, creates tiny protective glasses for the fly against repellents. Sudeep's efforts to kill the fly fail. Bodyguards, repellents, swatters, nothing works. The fly torments him with fire, poisoned drinks, and sleep deprivation. Finally, Nani hatches a plan to use a working cannon display filled with gunpowder. Bindhu helps gather gunpowder, but a man foiling their plan by stuffing tissue in the cannon disrupts it. Sudeep, renovating his house with insect-proof measures, forces Bindhu to personally take the fly inside. Sudeep attempts to touch Bindhu inappropriately, but the fly uses its modified claws to stop him. The next day, during a crucial investor meeting, Sudeep's sleep deprivation and fly paranoia lead him to ramble about repellent spray. The fly lands on an investor, causing Sudeep to dump a pot on his head. The disastrous meeting results in lost funding and financial woes for Sudeep. Tax authorities are tipped off about Sudeep's hidden money. As he tries to move it, the fly ensures it burns to ashes. Remembering the man from the junkyard, Sudeep seeks help from Tantra, a black magic expert. Tantra reveals Nani's reincarnation and creates evil birds to capture the fly. Nani destroys them, but the house fills with smoke, trapping Sudeep and Tantra. Aditya saves them, and CCTV footage reveals Bindhu letting the fly in. Sudeep takes Bindhu hostage to lure Nani out. Bindhu hides while Nani creates a distraction. Nani launches a needle with a magnet attached, but Sudeep traps him. He then cuts off Nanis, the fly's wing, and taunts them. Nani notices the cannon's paper blockage has fallen. In a final act of sacrifice, he coats himself with gunpowder, flies through a burning match, and launches himself into the cannon. The projectile kills Sudeep and ignites an oxygen cylinder, causing a massive explosion that destroys the house. The ending shows Bindhu driving to work. A man catcalls her, but Nani, reborn as a fly again, attacks him with a needle, signifying his continued presence and revenge. Wow. That was a wild ride. What did you think of the ending? Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more recaps like this, or if you have a movie suggestion for next time. Thanks for watching.